Jennifer in the Wherever Jewelry Studio here in Alexandria, Virginia. And we're on Instagram Live, going to give you a little demo on filing and cutting, sawing. So here I have a jeweler's saw frame, and right here I have a packet of 3 000 saw blades. So saw blades come in groups of a pack of 12, so this is 12 blades. And if you buy a pack of 12 groups, that's called a gross, just for your information. So I like to use 3/0 because that's going to give me a lot of control. You can look up charts. This is what I'm going to be working on. But if you are using a fairly thin piece of metal, then a 3/0 or 2/0 or a 3/0 is good. This is probably 24 gauge or 26 gauge, probably 24 gauge for this back sheet. So you can see that I have marked with a Sharpie where I'm going to be filing. Take my stone out, just set that aside. Put my piece down. So now my blade is not in here. So I'll try to show you how to put the blade in. Of course, there's teeny tiny teeth, right? If you can't see them, if you run your finger along here, you'll be able to feel that, like it's catching when I move my fingers up, but not down. So they're pointing down this way. All right, so the teeth should be pointing down. The teeth should be facing outward this way and pointing down. So this is a standard jeweler's saw frame. What I need to do is to squeeze, this is called the throat, squeeze this together so that it's under tension. So what I'm gonna do is, which you might not be able to see here, but I'm gonna stand up and put my hip here on the handle and lean in so that I'm pressing the throat closed this way. Get a blade, which is here. Make sure that the teeth are facing towards me and pointing down. Actually, it goes this way. Put this in. I'll move my bench right here for a second. Put the one side in, tighten that up. Then I'm pushing with my hip a lot. Put the other end in here and just tighten that up. And it should sound like a little bit like a musical instrument, and that means it's tight enough. If it's wiggling or you don't hear that, then it's not tight enough, and you'll pretty much break the blade. So, all right, make sure you can see. Put my bench pin back on. All right, so for sewing, you really want to have, I'm going to use the V here because I want my metal to be supported on both sides. The more stable your piece, the more, the easier it is going to be to saw. All right. So, I'm going to start by moving up to start kind of get it going. So I'm putting my blade here so that I can start on the upstroke, and I'm sawing gently. I don't have to push very hard. To turn a corner, I just saw in place and turn my metal like that. Yeah. And I'm gonna cut just outside of this line because I can always take off more material And of course I forgot to make life easier. Put this down for a sec. Just lubricate with a little bit of Burr Life. So I can just rub that along there and keep going. And I can do this sewing with 3 fingers. I don't have to push very hard. You don't have to white knuckle it. And I've got some metal dust that's forming on there. And if you blow that off, close your eyes when you do it so that you don't get metal dust in your eyes. So here I'm turning the corner. I ease up on my forward pressure, turn my piece, and continue. And if it's getting a little slow or choppy, what I'll do is leave my blade in there and put some more Burr Life on. And just keep going. If it gets stuck, try pushing up. And just kind of slow and steady. So if you were wondering what kind of, or what size of saw blade to use, there are charts, especially where you're buying a saw blade like Rio Grande. I believe they have a chart that'll show you what blade is appropriate for what thickness of metal. Let's see, I'm almost at the end. And there we go. So if you do get stuck, don't do this with your blade because it'll just break. All right, so here's my piece that's all nice and cut out. Now, so this edge needs to be filed and cleaned up a bit. And if yours looks a little more jagged, that's what the file is for. So I'm going to use this file. And this is let's see what this is. This is a Swiss file, so it says Swiss made, and it's a 0, which is written on the tang. So let's see if you can see that. This is called the tang. And there's Swiss cuts and German cuts, and you can investigate those, and it's how the ridges are put in there. What I like to do is just feel it. This one is fairly aggressive. So I'm gonna put the handle on. This just screws on because I don't want to just have the tang. There we go. And so now I will just hang this over. I wonder if we can get closer. All right. So I'm gonna hang this over the edge. And the files, the teeth are cut, they're facing forward, so it only cuts on the forward motion. So the motion is to push, lift, come back, push, lift, come back. And long, smooth strokes works pretty well. And again, just keep turning your piece. You could also do something like this and turn your piece on its side and do this and go across it. See, I'm kind of curving like, I don't know if you can see that, kind of like this. And that's nice if you have a curved a curve that you're trying to file. So, and again, the more stable you can hold your piece, the easier it is going to be. And your fingers will get tired, and that's just kind of the way it is. So once I got this nice and smooth with no little gouges like that, then I would go to a finer file, and that's going to take the scratches out that this file made. And then once I got a fairly smooth file, then I would go to sandpaper and go to finer and finer grits of sandpaper. I usually start with like 320 sandpaper, then maybe 400, 600, and I do use a lot of tools on the flex shaft because that saves my fingers, and it's quick too. But hand filing, nothing you should learn on hand file. Anyway, so I'll continue to do that and continue with this project. So that's our little lesson today on filing and sawing. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm Jennifer from Wherever Jewelry. You can find us on whereverjewelry.com, and we will hopefully see you next week at the same time, noon on Fridays.